Pastor. Thank you very much. Let's say goodbye. Let's stand up and say goodbye.
Stand up and say bye. Bye. That's the camera. Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye. Bye. Thank you very much. Hugs to everyone.
Frankfurt now.
Germany.
Bye.
Back to you.
Welcome back to Germany. We want to thank the coverage that has taken place out in the South American division. We've been excited for them and enthused. It's been a great experience to see all the projects that are involved, some of which we know very well.
Yes, projects as Caleb or 1 Year in Mission or Vida por Vida.
Well, we know that the 1 Year in Mission is a general conference project, and it's quite powerful to see the coverage that is happening. And yet, Christina, I have to be honest and say to myself, I wish that, I guess though I felt there was something missing, or I wanted something more. I don't know if you know what I'm trying to say.
I think I understand you, especially when I look at our webpage and I see the map and I see how many posts and stories they have to be in South America.
This is exciting stuff.
It's the biggest number from all the world.
This is exciting stuff. I hope you can see this at home at the viewers. If you go into the app and you can find it for yourself. Oh, more than 1,600 postings and contributions from people who have left the walls to be the sermon.
People as those from Ecuador, others from Peru, from...
How many came out from Ecuador? Do you remember?
10,000?
Is it 10,000? Yeah, I think 10,000 came out, yes. And there was Manau.
Yes, Manau, 6,000 people.
We're talking about people who left the confines of the walls of the church, hitting the streets, doing all kinds of projects just to be the sermon in people's life. From taking people's blood to health checks to actually being a part of their lives. It was an awesome experience.
Indeed, if you want to discover all this story, don't hesitate to visit the web page and also share with us your story and all the amazing things that you have done for the Global Youth Day.
Please, please download the app, contribute to yourself, or even just read the stories for yourself. An awesome, awesome work is happening today, Global Youth Day in the South American division. There are stories galore for you to feast yourselves on. It's amazing to see what God is doing.
And there are also another story that you can continue to write is the story of Vanuatu and of helping people from there who are affected by the cyclone Pam.
Definitely. I hope the link does come down on your screen where you can see it. If you could donate and come online to donate.globalyouthday.org. We need your support to try and help them out.
Now, our next destination is one who has, if you are looking on the map, a big number of posts also. We are going in Central America this time.
Definitely. And we want to hand over to them. We want to hand over right to the North American division, not the Central. We'll get there. Okay. We're going over to the North American division.
Where there are a lot of people who are doing amazing things also.
And we hope to hear lots of courageous stories coming from there. And so we want to do our best to engage you as we introduce them to you. Please remember to log online and hashtag Global Youth Day. Pictures, videos, do everything you can. Please log into the app and contribute for yourself. We want you to be a part of this story. So please do your best to share and get involved. We want to hand you over to the North American division. Please make sure that you do your best to try and engage in the stories and let everyone know that you can be a part of the sermon as well. This is us in Germany. We're moving you over swiftly and we're asking you to stay tuned with them. Thank you very much for your time.
And also, don't forget to watch and to observe the other stories that were presented by others and share with us your story.
Please do. Let us know. We want to stay posted on the journey of Global Youth Day with you.
Hi there, thank you for joining us. Today has been an exciting day to see what God has been doing in the lives of young people across the world. And today, I have Andrew Keel here with me, who will be covering for the next 2 hours what God has been doing. Now, today, we had a special thing going on. The North American Division joined the World Church in making sure that our youth were challenged in leaving their local church and going out there and being a servant, the feet and hands of Jesus Christ. Right. And there were tons of young adults and youth that just left their church. So a lot of churches were empty today because they were serving. And as we received so many phone calls and emails letting us know what they were doing, it was exciting to see what God was doing throughout this division, especially in the lives of those who were serving. Yeah. So I'm excited that we're here, and we're glad that you decided to join us for the next 2 hours. And first of all, we have this is Southwestern University. Is that right? Yeah. Southwestern University, who will be joining us in a few seconds and will be sharing what they did in our campus with their students and so forth. I can't wait to hear what they have to say. They're getting them ready so that we can hear their stories and their testimonies. But I know that even local churches here in the community were out there, were serving, and some of them were actually getting ready to serve not only today, but there was a special dedication service, Andrew, that we had in our local church for youth that were getting ready to take off, and not only within our community. They were doing that already, but they were going to Panama. Wow. And so it was exciting to hear that they were all excited about their serving. Some of them were fundraising for quite some time, so they can actually...
What are they doing there in Panama?
They're actually doing a service project. They're going to be doing some Bible... that's right. They're doing a feeding program. They're going to be doing giving Bibles away. Okay. And so it was exciting to hear what they're doing in preparation. So there's over 60 people that will be going out there to Panama. And so I was excited, and I was blessed to see what God is doing. Is exactly, if I'm not mistaken, it was the entire 9th grade class from Spencerville Adventist Academy who was going out there. But I was also excited to hear what the church has been doing over the past year in their community. They were giving blankets out. They were giving away some sort of, I think, there were some sort of not only blankets, but they're giving like bread and food, and so it's exciting to see when a church puts their hands together and serving. Right. Now, you were a student missionary,
right?
And so you've served before in your local community,
right?
And then you went out to serve outside. The first place you went, I believe, is New Zealand.
Right, correct. When I was in college.
Okay, and tell me about that experience. What motivated you to go out there and serve in New Zealand?
Well, actually, my mom was a student missionary first, and she told stories all growing up. And that's when I decided I was going to college. I wanted to do that, take a year out, and I wanted to get outside of my comfort zone, and it worked, definitely. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you took the time to go out there and serve, and that was for a year, right?
Right.
Okay. Now, when you came back, I'm sure there was many things that you were able to share with your loved ones, and we'll get to that later. But right now, we have a video clip that we would like to show you and see what God has been doing in a particular part of the world where the youth put their hands to serve others. Let us watch.
Hi, my name is Pastor Charlie Chimi. I'm the youth director here in Vanuatu HD Mission.
Hi, I'm Pastor Nosteri, the president of Vanuatu Mission.
Recently, we've been hit by Cyclone Pam.
Vanuatu as a country has been devastated by this cyclone called Cyclone Pam.
We've never experienced such a cyclone in the past years, and this is one of the worst ever cyclone that has hit our country here in Vanuatu.
This is a Category 5 cyclone. It is the strongest cyclone ever faced by the country. And yesterday, the Prime Minister of Vanuatu has declared a state of emergency in the whole country. That's 83 islands, starting from the northern part of the country right down to the south. Impact has been felt throughout the country. Houses and homes, churches and schools have been devastated by the cyclone. The communication network is down. No internet, no services at all in the country at present. A lot of people are suffering. Many people are flocking in evacuation centers.
But because of the cyclones, our youths have planned something for this coming Global Youth Day to join together and assist and to provide relief to the communities, to the people that have been affected by this cyclone that has hit us. Most of our young people are affected by the cyclone, but amidst the crisis that we are in, our youth here are resilient in coming together this coming Sabbath in helping out in various ways that our youth here in Vanuatu.
The ATRA arm of the church, the humanitarian arm of the church, is working very closely with the National Disaster Office of this country, and they're coordinating the relief supply to many thousands of people in evacuation centers. The scene here in some parts of Port Vila and the homes that I'm standing in here, many homes are like this, are devastated. Plenty people are now currently trying to put their lives back in order.
For the global youth there, I would like to appeal to the global youth around the world, please do remember us in your prayers. Please do remember us in your prayers, and we do need the support to help our people here in Vanuatu, and especially our church families that are affected by the cyclone that has just impacted our nation.
We are appealing for youths around the world to remember Vanuatu at this time in your prayers. And at the same time, I'm soliciting on behalf of the church here in Vanuatu to actually ask and solicit for support in whatever way we can to rally up some kind of support to help us to put the lives of people, and especially places of worship that has been very much devastated by this cyclone. Not only here in Port Vila, where the capital city is, but also throughout the islands, where we have thousands of our church members who are very much affected by the great impact of this cyclone that has hit Vanuatu. We will have no fruits, no vegetables on our table, maybe perhaps for the next 6 months. And so we tremendously would need a lot of support that would come from our friends from abroad to help us with this great impact of the cyclone that had hit this country. And above all, we would like to solicit for your prayers. We're asking your support that God will help the people as they put things back in order to support their livelihood.
I'm appealing to the Adventist youth around the world, please do support us. We need your prayers.
So once again, on behalf of the Seventh-day Adventist Church here in Vanuatu, I wanted to say thank you. If you remember us in prayer and if you're thinking of supporting us, we do appreciate the help that you would give in this time of great disaster. Thank you so much for the help that you will give to help us. Thank you.
Okay, now joining us on Skype, we have Southwestern University, and we would like to ask you a few questions of what have you done in your local community. So we have Ashley, we'll have Kilroy, and Dominique, if I'm not mistaken. You guys, can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so what time you guys got started this morning?
We got started at 7:30 a.m. Well, had to be there by 7:30, so we started getting ready before that, obviously. Wow. But yeah, we started at 7:30.
Now, was it hard to recruit the people that were going to be there with you today serving?
A little bit, because right now Southwestern is on spring break, so not a lot of the students are there. But we heard the call that they needed people and decided to come.
Awesome.
Yeah, we had a lot of faculty show up, which is abnormal. Normally it's a lot of students, but I think the faculty kind of like knew that the students weren't going to be there, so they decided to fill in.
So
yeah, they really stepped up. Yeah.
So you guys joined hands and then made a difference. Now, before, when you started preparing for this, was it hard for you guys to come up with a project?
It wasn't originally ours. It was Grandview Food Bank actually takes care of all of the stuff ahead of time. We are just the volunteers. Yeah, we help hand it out, but we have other people who organize it and put it all together. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm seeing some pictures right there. So what is it exactly that you guys did?
You want to go? Well, a truck showed up, and all the food was unloaded off the truck, but then we had to sort all the food into individual packages so we could get it to the families. So in the different pictures that you have up there, that's us sorting the food and putting them in the bags. So when the cars would come, we could ask them, how many families are you wanting to feed? And we could just hand them the bags for the amount of families that they're wanting to help. We actually had one truck come up, and they said that they wanted to help 24 families. So we took all the different bags that we organized, and we put 24 of each of the different food items we had. It was amazing.
Well, that's awesome. How much food do you guys think you guys gave out?
Oh, man.
On average, we usually hand out between 300 and 350 bags of food for families.
Wow.
So we feed, and the food lasts about 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's pretty fresh.
So like that's the amount of food that we give each family, and so I couldn't even guess how many.
Okay. Now, there's some of our youth that are watching right now. They have the desire to serve. They want to go out there and do something, but sometimes they don't know what to do. And as I'm hearing you guys say that it wasn't too hard to get the people out there. They wanted to serve. You guys came out with a project. Now, how much money does it take to pull something like this? Do you guys have to do some fundraising? Where did the money come from to get the food?
That's actually...
it's actually the Grandview Church, right? That puts it together. Yeah, they put it together. So actually Southwestern didn't really have to do anything really, because we just show up and volunteer. Money-wise, I don't know. I believe that they have their own food bank over in Grandview, Texas.
Well, it's actually run from the Grandview SDA Church, and the food bank for this community actually sponsors the Grandview Church to feed people because they have the manpower to do it where the food bank doesn't. And so the Grandview Church actually arranges for, there's like 5 different locations in the area, and they take truckloads of donated food, as well as like if we didn't get enough donations, say, they would have a set amount of money set aside that they can go and purchase the food so that they will have enough food to hand out. And they bring it to those different locations and then just ask for volunteers.
Awesome. Now, question. For those of you who've gone out there, you've been serving, what can you tell those who aren't too sure whether or not they should get involved? Because there's people out there that they're thinking, well, that's not for me. I don't see myself doing anything like this. What can you tell them? What goes in your mind? What do you feel when you're out there serving and making a difference?
It's just amazing. It's one of the most satisfying things you can do. The looks of gratitude on their faces, it's so great. And I say just, even if you don't feel like you're the kind of person that, that's the kind of the thing for you, just try it. And once you try it, you'll find out that you love it, because there's nothing more satisfying than helping people.
True. There's some people out there are pretty shy, and they want to serve. They have that seal in their heart. They want to make a difference, but they feel like, well, I just can't see myself out there and talking. And did you have anyone like that was a little shy but went out there and started making a difference? And if you did, tell me, what was their response afterwards?
Well, there were a lot of background people, honestly, in this kind of thing, because only a couple of us actually talk to the people face to face. A lot of the time, people are having to stock items and keep the people who are giving food stocked with food supplies. So if you're shy, there are so many things that you can do where you don't necessarily have to go face to face, but you can make a difference. One of the ladies who led out told me that if we wanted to, we could just go straight to the food bank and help package food there. There's no connection really with people whatsoever. You're just helping and making a difference. So if there are shy people, go to your local food bank, and that could be a place for you.
There's always something, right? Wow, this is exciting. I'm so glad you guys took the time to join us and to be able to share. I want to thank you not only for the service that you did there, but I also want to thank you for sharing your stories. And I hope that you continue to stay active in your local community and encourage others to do likewise. Now, back to Andrea, as she has some very important information to share with us.
Yes, we encourage you to share your photos and experiences from Global Youth Day at www.globalyouthday.org. When you go there, you can link your Facebook and Twitter accounts, and then whatever you share on the website will automatically feed into those social media outlets. Also, make sure to use the hashtag GYD15 and hashtag Global Youth Day when posting your photos and comments. It's also a great place to check out what's happening in other areas of the world. For example, I just saw on here Salem Spanish Church. Looks like they have a great youth group going on there. Something that's helpful too, if you're posting, if you want to put just a little bit about what you're doing, then we can see. It's great to see the pictures, great to see that you're out there doing it, but it's helpful for us to see what you're actually doing, if you can kind of add a little bit of a title into that. But I also saw a Spanish church in Milwaukee. Looks like they were visiting maybe a nursing home, and we'll keep you posted on those things. It's pretty exciting. So right now we're going to go ahead and go back to Eldon, and we'll see what else is going on.
All right. Well, yes, we have another video clip that we'd like to show you of what took place earlier today in New Zealand. So let's take a look.
Happy Sabbath and happy Global Youth Day to the entire youth of the world. Kia ora, whānau, my name is Pastor Ray and I'm currently the South New Zealand Youth Director. Just to give you a glimpse of where we are, this is New Zealand and that's the North Island and that's the South Island and we're this wee little dot. We are home of Narnia, Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. Yeah! Just to give you a snapshot on who we are as a youth department, we operate on a 3-step model in terms of giving our meaning and purpose as to why we do the things we do. And we believe if we do these things effectively, we are well on our way to winning souls to the kingdom, but also mobilizing a lot of young people to finish His work. So step number 1, everything we do, we love to engage our young people. What that means is making our programs relevant, meaningful, purposeful, so that when they come to this place, wherever it is, they want to leave and going, hey, this was an awesome idea, let's do this again, let's come back for more. Once we get them engaged, we get them to be involved. See my little happy smiley face there? Because when you're involved, you're in a happier place. Involving could be anything, whether it be serving as a deacon, folding bulletins, doing PowerPoint, singing a song, being a welcomer at the door, whatever it is. Our goal is to involve our young people as much as we can. And once they are involved, the most important and last step is we get them to serve. Just as Christ served us as humanity, we are therefore encouraged to serve our community. So there you have it, folks. Again, we want to get them engaged, we want to get them involved, and last but not least, we want to get them to serve. And with serving, that's why we are doing Global Youth Day, again, to go out and serve our community. So that's it from us. My name again is Pastor Ray from South New Zealand. Ka kite anō, be the change, be the church. God bless. Have a good day.
It was great to see the smiley faces of those that were serving out there in New Zealand. I was just in the South Pacific Division not too long ago, and I was blessed to see that their spirit is not only for a day, but is their lifestyle. They're constantly serving and making a difference everywhere they go. And we would like to make that a reality in the life of every young and youth that is watching the program today. Now, as I looked at what they were doing out there, it reminded me of some of the things that were taking place earlier here in North America as well. They have been involved throughout the day. We have actually, in a few minutes, we'll have the West Virginia Federation who would like to share what God has done in their life. And as they try to get them on the line, I would like to go back to something that was said earlier today from Southwestern University. There's several of you that have been involved in projects before. It comes natural to you. You're excited about serving. But there are others that may be a little shy. We would like to challenge those of you who are excited about serving and perhaps don't feel too shy to serve, that you would go ahead and recruit someone and show them the ropes, that you go with them and just go ahead and go ahead and teach them how to do it by just being yourself and hang out with them and spend time with them. So right now, I guess we have a group on the line, and we'd like to go ahead and see if they can put them on the screen so we can go ahead and do that. Okay? All right. So I guess they're not there already yet. But we do have a video from San Antonio, and we'd like you to go ahead and enjoy it as we watch this video together.
Impact San Antonio.
Impact San Antonio.
Impact San Antonio.
It's not a program.
It's not a service.
It's not a conference.
It's not a summit.
And it's not a convention.
It is a 10-day experience.
A 10-day experience
with your
global Seventh-day
Adventist young adult
community.
Impact San Antonio. It's not a program. It's not a service. It's not a conference. It's not a summit. And it's not a convention.
It is a 10-day experience with your global Seventh-day Adventist young adult community. It's something we can't experience without you.
July 2 to the 11th, Impact San Antonio. There's some of you who are already making plans to be there for the General Conference session of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. And if you are, we would like you to get involved. It's going to be an exciting 10 days of service. And I'm sure that if you are part of it, you will come back home blessed, making a difference in your local community because you have experienced what God can do when you serve in other areas. Now, earlier we talked about a different group of people that we have lined up so that we can interview them over Skype and you get to see them on the screen. And we're trying to get a hold of the, let's say, Lake Region Conference. And we apologize for the technical difficulties. You know, it happens sometimes. But while we wait, we do want to continue to share with you the fact that God is doing great things, not only around the world, but here in our local division. You know, there's a Bible promise that I treasure. It's found on Deuteronomy chapter 28. And it says, "The blessed are those who obey to the voice of the Lord." And later on, it says that He'll bless the city that you are in. And I think that if we dedicate our lives in service, the Lord will bless not only your city, but it will bless you. It looks like we already have Lake Region online. So we have Jason North. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. I can hear you. I can't see you. Oh, there you are. I can see you. So you guys are live right now. What is it that you guys are doing right now in your neck of the woods?
All right. In our neck of the woods, what we did, well, they're eating right now, but they prepared, hold on one second. They prepared, I got to talk in the mic, personal care kit items for 2 shelters, a women's shelter and a men's shelter. And then we just came off of location from a veterans facility that houses veterans who need all type of services and assistance.
Awesome. Now, was it hard for you guys to recruit the group of people to go with you?
No, man. What I did is, and I'm going to show you now, is I had a great group of individuals that brought their young people from about 8 different churches. We worked alongside with our community services director of our conference, and they helped us make all of this happen.
Now, I see you guys have some colorful, is that T-shirts or sweaters? What are they?
Yeah, those are T-shirts, and it says, "Be the Sermon," and on the back, Global Youth Day, and then on the back, turn around, it says, "Lake Region, built for more, reach, reclaim, restore."
Awesome. So how many did you guys have involved in this project throughout the day?
Today we had approximately 50 to 55 people. We had about 40 young people and about 15 volunteers, chaperones.
Nice, nice. Now, were the chaperones as excited as the youth were?
Man, I think the chaperones were more excited, man, to be a part. Matter of fact, they didn't even want to leave. I said, we got to get back to do this interview. And they talk about, no, we want to stay. We want to hang out. So the chaperones had a good time, had a great time.
Awesome. Oh, I can see them now. Exciting. Now, when you guys were out there, Is there a particular story that comes to mind that you can treasure or be able to share with others that really impacted you throughout the day? There's something special that took place today that you would like to share with those who are watching right now.
Just the first thing that comes to mind is the lady that that ran the veteran shelter. She shared with us that she has depleted all of her income, her savings. She sold her house, sold all her cars, everything, so that she can provide basically that ministry. She doesn't get any government funding. And the reason she doesn't get government funding is because she wants to be able to pray. She wants to be able to preach. She wants to be able to lift up the name of Christ anytime she wants to. So she refuses government funding, any type of that type of assistance, so that she can bring these people to Christ ultimately. Even though they're dealing with all type of stuff, she believes that her facility is the one that's going to get changed. So we prayed for her, prayed over her, prayed with her. And it's just the tears she shed as we ended our prayer, her thanking us for bringing all these young people to be a part of that experience.
Wow. Now, as you interacted with this lady, I can see that you were impacted. But do you think that her testimony has impacted the life of those that were there with you to the point that they also have chosen to make some sacrificial giving, or perhaps going the extra mile and doing something special in their local churches when they go back?
I think so, tremendously. The young people just testified of how powerful the lady's testimony is. We've just taken a challenge to make every third Sabbath a mission Sabbath in the Lake Region Conference with our youth and young people. So, yeah, they've been impacted tremendously through this experience.
All right. Well, we would like to continue to hear what God is doing in your neck of the woods as you continue to do these type of projects. And I'd like to see if I can talk to one of the young kids out there with you. If you can choose one of them. All right.
I'll put her on the spot.
So who do we have there?
I'm Ariel.
Ariel. How's it going, Ariel?
Everything's going great.
Awesome. So tell me about it.
The camera facing me, Ariel.
Oh,
I can't hear him.
All right. So let me ask you something. What did you do in preparation for today?
I slept a lot.
All right. Because you knew you were going to be up all day long, right?
Exactly.
All right. So what time did your day get started?
What time did I think it was going to start?
No, what time did you get started this morning?
Oh, well, I woke up at like 6, so I'm going to count that as starting.
All right. Sounds good. What's the thing that impacted you the most today?
Chopping those onions up, because it was making me cry. But the woman, she really impacted me because I've never seen someone like that. She said she sold her house and stuff in her car for those people, and I've never heard anyone do that.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. So I think that we can learn from her experience and be able to go ahead and decide to give away certain things that we don't really need to be able to make a difference in somebody else's life. But thank you so much for sharing, and thank you to all of you out there in the Region Conference for being able to share with us what God did through you throughout the day. God bless you. We look forward to hearing from you in the future. Okay, so we have Andrew Keel once again. And Andrew, we were talking earlier about your New Zealand experience.
Right.
So you went out there as a student missionary. You were there for a whole year.
12 months, yeah.
12 months. And what were you doing out there?
I was a youth worker at a church on the South Island in Nelson.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did you know the youth director there?
I didn't, but I knew exactly what he was talking about on that map. So I knew where he was at, yeah.
All right. Now, when you serve, a lot of people think that everything goes perfect, that you just going to have a great time. Oftentimes, we only hear the great stories,
right.
You know, swimming with dolphins and going out there and enjoying the beautiful nature activities. But did you experience any particular challenge when you were out there?
Definitely. I think anybody who's, if you're away from home, especially overseas, you're going to be missing your family. And especially when you're younger and you're in college, you're just kind of getting used to being away from home. So I think that was the biggest challenge for me, was leaving home, a totally different culture, meeting all new people, getting used to all of that, and you know, a new job, basically.
True.
So it was challenging, but it also helps you grow a lot in that process. And
would you say that during that time you grow spiritually as well?
Definitely. God is your lifeline. So yeah, you can't help but grow.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad that you were able to go out there, that you accepted the call and came back safe. Now, we have South Central on the line now, and we'd like to go ahead live so that we can ask a few questions and see what God did in their part of the world?
To participate in. I'm going to ask all the young people who serve and who feel comfortable. I would love to have you come on stage with me.
Looks like they're. Can you guys hear me out there? It looks like they may not have audio. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Apparently there's a little delay there. We're going to go ahead and work on it, and we'll come back. Now, going back to you, Andrea. You came back.
Right.
And most young adults, when they go out there and serve as a student missionary, they do their year of service, they come back, and for the most part, they continue with their studies, they graduate, and they live a life of service. But not very often do we see a student missionary that says, I want to go back. Now, you did go back to the mission field. You went then after that to... Micronesia Islands?
Micronesia, yeah. It was a couple years after college, yeah.
Okay, so you graduated.
Right.
And then you went back to the mission field. What motivated you to do this all over again? Because you've already got that out of your system if that were the case. But now you says, no, I want to go back. I want to make a difference. What motivated you to go out there and serve as a student? Well, no longer as a student missionary, now as a missionary. What motivated you? Why did you go back?
You know, I worked in the student missions office at Southern Adventist University, and I was surrounded by, obviously, student missionaries who are going out. So it's hard to, when you're working with them, it's hard to not have that in your blood. So an opportunity did come up through tragedy is what happened, and there was a need, and so I just felt like, you know, the opportunity's there. God, I felt like, had prepared me for that moment, given me what I needed with my education and everything. The timing was perfect, and I was ready, and I was excited about going back out in a new area. That was good. I don't know if I would have gone back to the exact same place, but yeah, it was good.
But we'll talk more about it. But right now we have some pictures from South Central that we'd like to see, and I believe we do have audio now. Okay, it looks like we don't have audio yet, but we'll be able to look at the pictures and see what they did in their area. So there it is. That's the region, and we have some youth that just getting ready to go out there for service, and then they took off there to care, the food bank. Looks like the project was similar to what Southwestern did. They were out there all hands on deck, making sure that they did the food service project, and they were cleaning. One of the things that's exciting to see is how the Lord provides the food, and the young people prepare the packages so that they may be delivered to the people that are actually in need. As you can see right there, some of the young and the youth working hard and making sure that those boxes are filled with every essential item they need for the next few days. So let's try to go to South Central now and see if they can hear me. Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Come on, Mountain, baby.
All right, I can hear you guys, that's for sure. All right, so tell me, how was it for you guys to start the day knowing that you were going to get the whole day just for service? I know that it took some time to prepare. Tell me a little bit about your preparation and what did you do today?
Wow, well, we started our experience today here in Louisville, Kentucky, all over the house, we had an amazing worship experience. We kept our young people started on Thursday, again on Friday, reminded them about Global Youth Day, and then today. And immediately after the worship experience, we all went out into the community to serve different people in the Louisville community.
All right. Now, I'm having a little bit of a hard time hearing, but one of the things that I would like to ask you guys is this. Now that you've completed a day of service, how does it feel? Can you go ahead and choose one of your youth out there? And I'd like to hear from one of them. How does it feel to be able to go out there and make a difference? You spent the entire day serving. Can you tell me? It looks like we lost them. So we're going to have to come back to them. But I can tell you this. When you go ahead and take some time out of your schedule and do things that you're not normally used to doing, you never know what to expect. All you know is that you're going to go out there, serve, make a difference, and all of a sudden, you know, you see the Lord working. So it looks like we got them back. So did you find a youth out there that we can talk to?
Yeah. the question.
We find a youth that can answer the question.
All right, so we want you to help me find youth that can ask. Oh, okay, it looks like we lost them again. Yeah, the problem with technology here. But anyhow, what I was saying to you earlier is that once you go out there, make a difference, the Lord takes care of the rest. Now, for those of you who are watching and you've been serving throughout the day, let us know what you did today. Make sure you go out there. Andrew Kill will share with you the hashtag that you need to use. And once you go ahead and share what you did, we'll go ahead and comment on this as well. Andrea, let us know.
All right. Sure. We encourage you to share your photos and experiences from Global Youth Day at www.globalyouthday.org. When you go there, you can link your Facebook and Twitter accounts, and then whatever you share on the website will automatically feed into those social media outlets. Also, make sure to use the hashtag GYD15 and hashtag Global Youth Day when posting your photos and comments. It's also a great place to check out what is happening in other areas of the world. For example, I was looking at some places in India. They were doing a health clinic. I saw in Ghana they're passing out some literature. And even right here in Maryland, I see a picture of, looks like a selfie in a van, and they're on their way to a nursing home to be the sermon. So it's exciting that you guys are sharing. And now back to you, Eldon.
Thank you, Andrew. Now we got Texas Conference online. We got Armando Miranda. Can you hear me? Armando, how's it going, my brother?
Oh, man, it's going so great. We had a great day so far.
Awesome. And who do you have there with you?
This is
Christina Lockhart. I'm the assistant to the president for communication here in Texas and a big youth fan.
Yes.
Awesome, awesome. So tell me, what did you guys do today?
Whew. Well, you know, we had a celebration that concluded with a march. Today, March 21st, we marched for more freedom, raising awareness for human slavery, trafficking. We want to end it now. And, you know, we had over 800, close to 1,000 people that braved the rain. It was raining the whole night. We were praying because it was crazy. It was like flooding in some parts of the park. But we were blessed because at that moment when the march started, it stopped the rain. Wow. It was just completely divine because we were excited about this. It was just amazing. And we marched 2 miles. It was an amazing march. You know, as you can see the T-shirt, we have it, and it's, you know, Global Youth Day in the back.
Nice.
And it was just amazing.
Got it. Now, what do you guys do to get the word out and get people involved?
Well, throughout the week, actually for the last 2 weeks, we were doing a mission trip in San Antonio, More Compassion. We were being the sermon for the last 2 weeks. And, you know, throughout that, we were asking the young people to start, you know, doing the banners and everything. And we were asking the people to be part of it. Through social media, we created hashtag More Freedom and also used the More Compassion hashtag. And so that was one of the ways. And we're using More as a campaign. So Christina, you can let them know how more we shared. How did we reach out?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the really neat things that we were able to do here, and it really makes me proud of our church to be able to partner with other organizations. So we partnered with 2 nonprofits, Ransom Life and Think Freedom Campaign. Those are 2 local nonprofits here in San Antonio that raise awareness, they create prevention, they create resources for survivors of abuse and human slavery and human trafficking. So we were able to partner with them, along with some folks that we have here that were very instrumental in getting the word out to even nonprofit organizations. So through social media and through our amazing pastors here in San Antonio, we were able to get the word out to our young people and their friends and their parents. We had such a great showing, but we even had people from the community come and join us, and people who spoke and who came on behalf of these nonprofits. And that really made us proud because this was not just our thing. This was really a global thing here in San Antonio that we were able to do for the city and for the community. So we were really excited about that.
Yes.
That sounds exciting. Now, if anyone else wants to do this, if they want to replicate in their local community, are you guys available to provide some sort of service and letting them know what worked, what didn't work, and how they can get it started?
You know what? It was a lot of work, and we were stressed out until the end. But you know what? It is worth it. We are willing to share the experiences that we went through so they can avoid the mistakes that we made And at the same time, if they can avoid the rain, we can pray for it, you know?
Amen. And there's power in prayer, that's for sure. Now, if there's one thing that you would like to share with those who are watching right now that was absolutely the greatest blessing out of doing this particular service project, what would that be?
Well, you know, the response of the kids, even through the rain. It was cold, it was windy, it was rainy. We had drum corps from the Southwest Region Conference. They marched in front with their Pathfinder uniforms. It was an amazing, amazing picture and videos. If you want to check it out, we have many things in our Facebook page at facebook.com, Texas Youth and Young Adults. We have videos. If you want to use the hashtag More Compassion, More Freedom, TX Youth, you will see videos and pictures of what happened this morning. And it's an amazing thing because it is worth it. I mean, the kids were yelling, no more human slavery, end it now. It was an amazing feeling to see all the young people united. It was like heaven. You know, everybody joined for one cause.
Amen. Well, thank you. And I would like to go ahead and look at the video that you guys have prepared this time so that others can enjoy it as well.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. It looks like it's not quite ready yet. So can you explain to us what is it that we're going to see right now in the video?
Go ahead.
Okay, so we, like we mentioned before, we had an amazing day. So we started the day with Pastor Jose Vicente Rojas. He was the one who did our devotional and kind of got us fired up and got us together so that we weren't doing something just to do it today, but to really have a passion for it, to really step forward and say, you know, this isn't happening to me, but I'm going to help this prevent this from happening to somebody else. So in the video, we're able to share. His words are powerful. Yes. We had a panel of speakers who shared, like I mentioned before, who shared stats and information and resources and what we're doing. They were able to give us that information. So you hear a little bit of that in the video. You get to see the drum corps. You get to see these kids in ponchos, in umbrellas, splashing in the water. But I think they were having a good time. But they weren't wasting their time. They weren't being silly. This was serious. They were excited about it. They made a point. You hear them chanting. You hear them following the drum corps. You see the posters that we did. And there were people that came out of the stores and, you know, they'd look around. They'd take pictures. We had people come to the park when the march wrapped up and said, hey, we're from a church down the street, or I live across the street. What were all these young kids doing here? What were you guys doing? And so we were able to even witness at that point with the community about our whole purpose, about why we were doing these things. And so it's really exciting. You get to see all sorts of ages, faces, styles, everyone on this video. We really had a great representation.
All right, we'll go ahead and watch the video right now. Thank you, appreciate it.
We're here to march, to bring attention to a human need. We are not here for political reasons. We are not here for a political party. We are here for humanity's sake. But something bigger than all of us is happening, and we are confronting it. We're going to make a difference. Do you have an attitude problem? Is that what your mama said? You have to have an attitude to survive out here. Just put on the attitude of Christ. Dr. King once said, we're going to march in an orderly fashion. We will obey all traffic regulations. We will march with dignity, and people will see our humanity this day.
One of the messages that we have is that people in the United States have this unfounded notion that trafficking is strictly a global, a third world kind of an issue. Americans outnumber international victims 10 to 1.
Merriam-Webster defines freedom as the state of not being enslaved or imprisoned. The Bible has over 50 verses of freedom in it. Galatians 5:1 says it's for freedom that Christ has set us free. Human trafficking is often called modern-day slavery. It is the most demoralizing, degrading, and devaluing of humanity in the world.
My story begins as a classic mother-daughter argument. My sister wanted her friends to come over and
All right. It's exciting to see what God did in San Antonio with youth, young adults, and technically all the brothers and sisters that came and joined us. Now, that video was actually made. It was made, I understand, by a 15-year-old student. Is that right?
Yes. I met him a couple years ago in summer camp, and he was rebaptized. I was during the week that was there, and he was rebaptized. But this kid is amazing. I mean, he doesn't need to go to school for this. He already does it, and it's a blessing. It was amazing.
The most wonderful thing about him, and if we can give him a shout out, his name is Eduardo Lu, and he does this as a passion. We didn't have to knock on his door and ask him. He comes with his camera and he says, what can I do? What can I film? What can I put together for you guys? So we're really proud of him. He's local. He's here from San Antonio. And, we just hope to have more youth like this. We want to empower and encourage more youth like this because they're really making a difference.
He's being the sermon. He is being the sermon itself.
That's right. Well, thank you. I really appreciate you guys joining us, and I look forward to hearing what else came out of this wonderful story. Right now, we're going back to Andrea.
Yes, once again, we want to encourage you to share your photos and experiences from Global Youth Day at www.globalyouthday.org. When you go there, you can link your Facebook and Twitter accounts, and then whatever you share on the website will automatically feed to those social media outlets. Make sure that you use the hashtag GYD15 and hashtag Global Youth Day when posting your photos and comments. It's also a great place to check out what is happening in other areas of the world. For example, in Spain, they're visiting a nursing home. I saw a group that's visiting a nursing home in Montreal, Canada. It looks like they're handing out some flowers. Once again, it is helpful if you're willing to put a little bit of a caption on your pictures so we know a little more what you're doing. In Nevada, they're donating blood. Lots of great things going on. It's pretty exciting out there. So, yeah, back to you, Eldon.
All right, thank you. Now, we have Florida Conference, who also went out there and made a difference today, and we have them online now. We'd like to ask them a few questions to see what God did in their life while they were serving today. All right. It looks like it's ringing, and they should be there in a few seconds, hopefully, and they'll pick up and we'll be able to ask you a few questions. Now, this is exciting, folks, to be able to see the youth from the North American Division, from California to Florida, New York City to Texas, and even in Iowa and Missouri, all over, youth making a difference. And right now we have the Florida folks there. How's it going, you guys?
Good, good, good. How are you, Pastor?
Doing well, blessings. All right, can you guys introduce yourself, please? Who do we have there online?
This is Rudy Alvear. I'm the Associate Youth Director for South Florida. We're calling from West Palm Beach.
Wonderful. And?
My name is Melanie Gallagher, and I am the Youth Director at West Palm Beach Spanish Church.
Nice. And who do we have next?
Hi, I'm Chris. I'm just a regular church member at West Palm Beach Spanish.
What are you talking about? You guys are all special now. You guys did something special today. What was it?
Global Youth Day, man.
That's right, that's right. So tell me, what did you do for Global Youth Day?
I served the community.
Awesome. What did you do to serve the community?
A few of the churches from our community, we were about 4 churches in total. We went to Valley of Love Ministries, which is a nonprofit organization that serves the homeless in their community. And so what we did is that we had church members make spaghetti and salad and bread, and we served the homeless in the community at that ministry and also at a park that was nearby where there are lots of homeless. After that, we had went to a really big park that is known here in West Palm Beach called Okeechobee Park. And we were there, we had lunch, and then we were able to pray for people who were there just walking and getting some exercise done, which is a wonderful experience.
Nice. Now, how long did it take for you guys to do this project?
We started at 10 a.m. and we ended our closing program around like 4, and then we had a program to end it around 6 o'clock.
Nice, nice. Now, if there's anything special that just jumps at you right now, something that really impacted you, something that you can treasure, something that you can share, what would that be?
This area, Pastor Ramiro, was the first time that they're joining Global Youth Day. One of the things that we challenged them at the beginning was to pray with absolute strangers, you know, and we were in the park, and we were praying to the Lord, you know, for him to send somebody to pray for, and he sent 2 pastors, 2 evangelical pastors. They were just exercising, and they were from Haiti, and they were here conducting evangelistic series, and all the young people, you know, brought them to the middle, and we intercede for them. And right after these 2 pastors left, the Lord sent us a couple that just moved to the area from New York City. And they were asking prayers for healing, and we prayed for the husband. You know, we give them the address. They will visit our church. And right after that, we prayed for 2 young girls. They asked prayers for their studies, you know, in college, and also for their parents, you know, to help them with the mortgage. So that was really exciting that God gave us the opportunity, and he shows that he has people. He sent those people to pray for, to intercede for.
Wonderful. There's definitely power in prayer. And for those of you watching, don't take for granted the power of prayer. That's one of the greatest things we can do for our community. Pray for our neighbors. Pray for those that live around us and around our church and around our community, or schools or workplace. And so I'm excited to hear that you guys took that to heart, went out there and made a difference, and the Lord provided the people that you guys were able to pray for. Now, as you look at the day and look into the future, do you see yourself doing more service projects like these?
Oh yeah, definitely. I really enjoyed myself, despite the fact that it was a very hot day. I made friends with people from other churches, people from different nationalities. Something that we have been trying to do, kind of, but today it really showed and paid off, and I really enjoyed myself.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, do you guys have a video, I understand, that we'll be able to see?
We have lots of pictures. We had one of our church members took tons of pictures. So we will be putting those pictures on the Dropbox.
Got it. So as we get them, then we'll be able to comment probably later on throughout the program. But thank you so much for being able to post those. Now, as you guys think of what's taking place right now in the Florida Conference, if you look at things into the future, what would you say are one of the most important projects that you should focus on right now as you look at the needs in your community? What is the next step now? Where are you going to take your youth from now?
One of the things that we are suggesting is that this will be just the first step into something that will be more sustainable. You know, we want to establish a relationship with the community, and not just to help on a one-day basis, you know, once a year. We want to do it on a regular basis, starting every third Sabbath of the month. Some of the churches are already engaged in doing that, and developing, you know, the individuals, developing a community, and ultimately developing a structure, you know, kind of really helping them, showing that the church has resources, you know, have means to help them develop. That's what we're planning to do.
Wonderful. We're glad that you guys took the time to do that, and we are excited to hear that you will make this into a regular basis. I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll look forward to seeing those pictures when they arrive. God bless you.
Thank you.
All right. And right now, we're going to go ahead and go back into Andrea at this point.
Yes, once again, we want to encourage you to share your photos and experiences from Global Youth Day at www.globalyouthday.org. When you go there, you can link your Facebook and Twitter accounts, and then whatever you share on the website will automatically feed into those social media outlets as well. Also, make sure to use the hashtag GYD15 and hashtag Global Youth Day when posting your photos and comments. It's also a great place to check out what's happening in other areas of the world. For example, in Lebanon, they're distributing food and clothing to Syrian refugees in West Beirut. In Egypt, they're knocking on doors to celebrate Egyptian Mother's Day, which is pretty exciting. And in Dubai, they're visiting and encouraging patients in the hospital. Alabama, they're doing some outreach in the neighborhood. So a lot of exciting things going on. Back to you, Eldon.
Thank you. That sounds exciting. Now, you heard earlier from Vanuatu. Now, we have another video for you that we'd like for you to pay close attention and see what God speaks to you as you watch.
Hi, my name is Pastor Charlie Chimi. I'm the youth director here in Vanuatu HD Mission.
Hi, I'm Pastor Nosteri, the president of Vanuatu Mission.
Recently, we've been hit by Cyclone Pam.
Vanuatu as a country has been devastated by this cyclone called Cyclone Pam.
We've never experienced such a cyclone in past years, and this is one of the worst ever cyclone that has hit our country here in Vanuatu.
A Category 5 cyclone. It is the strongest cyclone ever faced by the country. And yesterday, the Prime Minister of Vanuatu has declared a state of emergency in the whole country. That's 83 islands, starting from the north of the country right down to the south. Impact has been felt throughout the country. Houses and homes, churches and schools have been devastated by the cyclone. The communication network is down. No internet, no services at all in the country at present. A lot of people are suffering. Many people are flocking in evacuation centers.
But because cyclones, our youths have planned something for this coming Global Youth Day to join together and assist and to provide relief to the communities, to the people that have been affected by this cyclone that has hit us. Most of our young people are affected by the cyclone, but amidst the crisis that we are in, our youth here are resilient in coming together this coming Sabbath in help out in various ways that our youth here in Vanuatu.
The ACTRA arm of the church, the human is working very closely with the National Disaster Office of this country, and they're coordinating the relief supply to many thousands people in these evacuation centers. The scene here in some parts of Port Vila and the homes that I'm standing in here, many homes are like this, are devastated. Plenty people are now currently trying to put their lives back in order.
For the global youth there, I would like to appeal to the global youth around the world, please do remember us in your prayers. Please do remember us in your prayers, and we do need the support to help our people here in Vanuatu, and especially our church families that are affected by the cyclone that has just impacted our nation.
We are appealing for youths around the world to remember Vanuatu at this time in your prayers. And at the same time, I'm soliciting on behalf of the church here in Vanuatu to actually ask and solicit for support in whatever way we can to rally up some kind of support to help us to put the lives of people, and especially places of worship that has been very much devastated by this cyclone. Not only here in Port Vila, where the capital city is, but also throughout the islands, where we have thousands of our church members who are very much affected by the great impact of cyclone that has. We will have no fruits, no festivals on our table, maybe perhaps for the next 6 months. And so we tremendously would need a lot of support that would come from our friends from abroad to help us with this great impact of the cyclone that had hit this country. And above all, we would like to solicit for your prayers. We're asking your support that God will help the people as they put things back in order to support their livelihood.
I'm appealing to the Adventist youth around the world, please do support us. We need your prayers.
So once again, on behalf of the Seventh-day Adventist Church here in Vanuatu, I wanted to say thank you. If you remember us in prayer and if you're thinking of supporting us, we do appreciate the help that you would give in this time of great disaster. Thank you so much for the help that you will give to help us. Thank you.
And that was Vanuatu. It is always hard to hear when natural disasters take place, but we're glad to know that our brothers and sisters are safe and they are needing your help. Now, there's some of you out there that were planning to do mission trips for this particular time of the year. We have spring break going on, and for some reason your plans fell through. So what I want you to know is that this is a perfect opportunity for you to go ahead and use those funds to be able to help our brothers and sisters out there. Oftentimes we wonder, why did our plans fall through? Why aren't we able to go on our trip? Well, you know, there's many reasons, and I'm sure that sometimes it gets frustrating. But if for some reason you're one of those that weren't able to go out on a mission trip this week, and you do have the funds, this is a need, a very specific need where you can get involved and be able to make a difference in the life of our brothers and sisters out there in the South Pacific. Now, Andrea, it's been an exciting day today.
It has.
You've been looking at all the different projects around the world,
right.
And it's exciting to see what's taking place. Yeah. Now, out of all the things that you've heard so far, what are some of the things that you feel that have impacted you the most, or you were most excited about?
Well, I mean, on the social media, I think it's great that they're working with the Syrian refugees, handing out stuff. Like, what an opportune time to minister to those people. But also, the End It Now campaign sounded pretty exciting to me. It sounds like an awesome job that they're doing there.
It's exciting to see that there are different types of projects, but they're all very powerful. You and I were listening earlier to what took place in Brazil with the blood drive, and how they were commenting that they were excited to receive the blood from the Seventh-day Adventist young Christians, not only because they are healthy by not smoking or drinking, but the fact that they're vegetarians.
Right.
It looks like there is some benefits to that, and they are welcoming their blood gladly because it does make a difference. As I looked at the different projects, it's nice to see that the young people get involved if the adults lead.
Yes.
That's something I noticed, because that End It Now initiative, I don't know if it would have taken place if the older members didn't get involved, and they have to do all the legwork. You know, heard that it was nerve-wracking at times, and it was a long day for them, but then everyone else got on board. Even this 15-year-old kid that said, you know what, I have a gift and talent, I have a camera, I can videotape, I can record, and then we can have something to show us what took place out there. So as I look at the service projects out there, it is important to see that the old and young need to work together.
Right.
And when we work together, we make a better impact in the community. Now, I read a quote once from Gandhi. He said, "Show me a Christian, and I will become one." And it is sad to say that Gandhi did not become a Christian. And there are many theologians and many Christians and commentators that said, had he found someone who lived the life of Jesus Christ,
followed Christ as a Christian.
Exactly, who actually became the hands and feet of Jesus. And so we are saying, with the Seventh-day Adventist Church Christians, we're saying, listen, we want to be the hands and feet of Jesus Christ. We want to be able to go out there and make a difference. So in our watch, no one says, I did not meet a Christian. So now we have another video package we'd like for you to look at, and we'll be able to comment on it as well.
I'm here with Isai. He's part of SALT Ministries, and this is the homeless ministry that they work on. And I'm going to let Isai tell you about what they do here and how this morning has been organized.
All right. Hi, everyone. Yeah, we're here. Typical Saturday morning for us, SALT Homeless Ministry. Actually, a little bit more atypical because we have a lot of extra volunteers. The Lord is really working out here on the streets. He's really blessing sending a lot of His children out because He's really putting it in their hearts just to help our fellow brothers and sisters that are struggling on the street. And that's what this ministry is about. First, we help nourish their physical needs. So we provide a breakfast for them. We provide clothing for them. And then throughout that, we really try to bring that spiritual component to it, really help them spiritually, because we know that that's what really matters in the end. That's really what's going to help their soul, and that's really going to help them get through these hard times.
Hi guys, we're from Kissing Spanish, and we're so excited because we just went through an amazing experience. We met friends, Shakina over here, Darlene over here, and they have an amazing testimony that we went through today, and Darlene's going to share it with you guys.
So there was a car accident by the railroad, and there was a deaf person with two of their interpreters, and there was two French with two of their French English speakers, and we were able to go up there and ask for their permission to pray, and it was a lovely prayer. They signed the prayer for the deaf person, and they translated from French to English. So it was a really awesome experience to be able to pray with people.
Hey, I'm Josh, and I'm from Winter Haven, Florida, and I went on a drive-by prayer, and I got to pray with two people, and it was really awesome.
So we try to lend that listening ear. We really try to be there for them. We really give them words of encouragement, and really try to we offer prayer and a little word of encouragement and worship and just truly try to lift their spirits up and try to lift them up, and so that they can come to know that kingdom and just really come to know Jesus and the strength that they can find in him.
Okay, and that was in Orlando, Florida. You see them in action. It was nice to see that they were saying that they meet every single Sabbath. And so it's something they do now once a year, but every Sabbath. And it was nice to see that they had extra help today. Now we have West Virginia now on the line, and we'll be able to ask some questions. It looks like they finally arrived. Okay, looks like you have a full church out there. How's it going, you guys? It's nice to see you finally and nice to hear you. So tell me about your day. What did you guys do today in service? All right, it looks like there's a delay, but did you guys hear my question? I was just asking if you guys can share with us a little bit as to what did you do today? How was your day in service?
We handed out literature, we stayed behind, we listened to the fellowship, and lots of things.
It looks like we're having trouble with the audio, but we're looking at the pictures, and I did hear earlier he was saying that they handed out literature, and it looks like they're donating blood as well. Did some health van projects where they go into the community with a health van and did some blood work and so forth and trying to give assistance to the community. Those are always fun when people come and find out how they're doing. It's just a free service. That looks like that's another individual there donating blood. Now, it's exciting to see how some of our young people that are even scared to needles decide to go ahead and say, you know what, I'm going to do this, not because I like needles, but because I like to make a difference, and I'm going to go ahead and give blood. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
All right, I can hear you now. All right, so tell me a little bit more about what we see in there on the screen.
Okay. We don't have video, so we're making it work. We're doing it too. So
all right, sister. So tell me about your day. What is it that you guys did today? We did see some pictures out there, but what was it exactly that you guys did? How did you get prepared for it, and how did you came about to?
Well, we just did about me. We did a community. We did money cooking, we did like free food,
you know what? We're going to try to come back to you later. We can't hear what you're saying, but we did look at the pictures, and we're glad that you took the time to share with us through the pictures what actually took place out there. And hopefully we'll be able to get some audio later so that we can comment a little bit on what you did. Now we're going back to Andrea with the social media and see what is taking place in other parts of the world.
Yes, we do encourage you to share your photos and experiences from Global Youth Day at www.globalyouthday.org. When you go there, you can link your Facebook and Twitter accounts, and then whatever you share on the website will automatically feed into those social media outlets. Also, make sure to use the hashtag GYD15 and hashtag Global Youth Day when posting your photos and comments. It's also a great place to check out what's happening in other areas of the world. For example, I see some things going on here in South Korea, in China, and we have, I know in Alabama, again, they're outreach in the neighborhood. In Spain, they're doing some visiting, some nursing homes. There's a lot of stuff going on right now, and it's exciting to see live what's going on as you guys post your pictures and your comments. So with that, back to you, Eldon.
Thank you, Andrew. Now we have 3 people on the line right now. They are from Quebec, is that right?
Quebec, yeah.
Yes, wonderful. It's good to see you guys. Now, I wish I spoke French. I don't. I do know that you guys have someone there who speaks French, so we'll have someone out there that'll be able to translate, right? So, but we do have our youth director from Quebec. If you would introduce yourself, please, and let us know who else is there with you.
This is Hébert Valiabe from the Quebec Conference. We are here with some of our young people who were involved this morning. We have our coordinator for Benjamin.
Yeah.
Ingrid with us from Ile-Tekwi Church.
Yes.
Kingsley from Saint-Hubert. Fabien from Saint-Hubert. And Christelle from It Is Written.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, what was Global Youth Day like today in your neck of the woods? Tell us.
Now, we have different projects, and I will let my young people talk about it, but we wanted to have an impact, and we decided to have a blood collection today. That's why you saw some pictures going on the screen.
Yeah, so exactly, as you said, we had different things in different churches, and It Is Written, Centre Ile-Tekwi de Montréal. We had this initiative to go say thank you to the public services, so police, to the firemen, to the hospitals, so especially to the nurses, doctors, and say thank you. That's why you saw some flowers going on in our pictures, and so we went with little cards saying thank you for the service they do, because it makes a big difference in our community here.
Nice. Now, now I can see that the pictures actually belong to you guys, and that's good to clarify. Yeah. Now, as I look at the pictures, I'm one of those that are scared needles. Did you have any of those in your group that were scared but yet went out there and decided to give some blood?
Yeah, there were a few who were kind of afraid and felt shaky, but I think we have reached our goal. HEMA Quebec, which is the organization that came to collect the blood, had a goal of 50 donors, but we have overpassed our goal. We went of 148%. They were expecting 50. We had 75 of our young people who gave blood.
Nice. Now, what was their reaction when you guys surpassed your goal?
Well, they were just amazed. Yeah, exactly. They were amazed. They were surprised, and they were always asking to the people who were coming to their office, saying, "So, are you from the Seventh-day Adventist Church?" And we're always saying yes, and young people coming, so with a nice, vibrant energy, and they were just really glad and happy to see us.
Nice.
And at the end, they received some literature from the church, and they were quite pleased that we had something to give them somehow.
Wonderful. Now, how did you guys get involved in this project?
Well,
we had decided that we wanted to make a very important impact in our society, and with some contacts that we have with a particular association called sickle cell anemia, we decided to partner with them, with the HEMA Quebec, which is the official blood collector. And they were happy to line up with us. As a matter of fact, they were surprised that we went over 75, so they were not prepared for that many. They were prepared only for 50. So we have taken a next appointment for next year to have over 100.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, we do have some Spanish viewers, and I was asked to go ahead and be able to ask a question to those. I believe there's one in your group that is Spanish speaking. Is that right? All right.
Yeah,
so I'll go ahead and ask a question in Spanish for those Spanish viewers, and I'll go ahead and translate. So this is a question. Cuando uno empieza a hacer esa clase de programas, hay muchos que le da miedo. Escuchamos que ellos fueron y lo hicieron de dos maneras. La pregunta es, ¿será que ellos volverán a hacerlo una vez más?
Yo creo que sí. Montreal tiene mucha población de todos los diferentes países, y la Iglesia Hispana de Montreal estaba presente también. Ana María, que es la directora de jóvenes, estaba presente y había motivado a muchos jóvenes de venir, y hasta adultos padres, y vinieron, y justamente un amigo mío que tenía miedo, le gustó la experiencia, pudo dar, y dijo que probablemente el año próximo iría a dar de nuevo, porque él dice, probablemente un día yo también tendré que tener un don de sangre, y nunca sabemos, entonces daremos en este momento.
Muchas gracias. Okay, so this was the question. I asked, among those who were scared, if they would feel comfortable giving blood again, because they went through the whole experience, and some of them says, I will never do this again. And so I asked her, did she have that reaction? She said, no, there actually was the other way around. They said, I will do this again. And something that you mentioned was that there are so many other communities in Quebec and they were all part of the project as well, and you would like to get the rest involved. Is that right?
Yes.
All right.
And,
now,
and I want to tell you something. Some of our young people left disappointed because they were not, they could not give blood today because they were underweight or they have some little health issues. And they were really disappointed because they said, oh, shucks, we wanted to give blood.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, something that our viewers may not know is that the need for blood is essential, especially for those that are going through critical times. Oftentimes, it doesn't even register the fact that there is a need for people to donate. And so as you do these type of projects on a regular basis, you create awareness. And people are able to say, hey, listen, I'm not the type of person that can go out there and pass out a tract or do something in public, but I can definitely do something that doesn't require me to speak because I'm just shy. But nevertheless, it's great because the fact that you're doing that is potentially saving the life of someone. Is there anyone there in your group that can comment on how important it is and what is the value of donating blood?
Yeah, it's very important because we don't know, but even near our entourage, we meet people and even friends that never tell the secret, but always, but you just find out that they need blood every week, and they always need new supplies of blood every week. So when you know that, it becomes more important for you to donate your blood.
That's true. Now, you've done it today. Do you see yourself doing this again next year?
We'll do it every 2 months, maybe.
Wonderful. Yeah. Well, we'd like to hear the stories as you continue to do these. And it's nice that you surpassed your goal from 50 to 75. You mentioned that you want to reach 100, and perhaps this will continue to grow, and eventually we'll go ahead and have maybe 1,000 or more. So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for sharing, and we'll look forward to seeing what God has been doing in your area, and we'll look forward to hear what God will continue to do through you as you make a difference in that part of the world. Thank you so much for joining us.
Bye-bye.
God bless you guys. Take care. All right, and now we have a video for you with a very special message. Hope you enjoy.
My experience as a student missionary was absolutely life-changing. I cannot take that year back for the world.
My experience as a student missionary was a refining experience. A lot of rough times that really helped to shape me into the person that I am today, but I wouldn't trade them for anything.
The moments that hit me, that I was gone for an entire year, was when I stood up and started teaching. And really after about the first week of teaching, I was like, wow, this is what it's going to be like teaching for next 10 months.
I'm going to be here all year. This is my life. And that's when it really hit me that I was there.
I learned things like how to deal with different cultural backgrounds that don't understand where you're coming from. And I also learned that there's a lot of happiness even when there's a lot of bad and tragedy in people's lives, despite the suffering that they go through.
When I went over to my location, it felt somewhat similar to America. There was times when I was like, oh, look, that's a mini supermarket. That's kind of cool. But other times, well, it was different because you'd be going along and see shacks. And you'd be like, wow, this looks nice in some places, but in other places it's completely different.
When you are forced to go into an environment, into a culture, into a country that is not familiar to you, that is not what you've always known, you're going to encounter tests and trials that are very foreign to you. You're going to be forced to rely on God in a way that you've never been able to in your life.
For one, something I learned was do not depend on self. Like, you cannot depend on self. Classroom, yeah, you can. But over there, you can only depend on God because you're placed in situations that you can do nothing else in but seek God.
I'd say service is love that knows no bounds.
when you're going through a difficult moment in life where it's causing you to just break down, you have to think to yourself, what's more important, myself or the cause that I'm serving for? And so I think service is realizing that your cause is more important.
Service is living intentionally, not for yourself, but for other people.
Honestly, service is following God.
For me, it was the first time when my seniors came into my office and asked me about the God I talked about during worship in English class. And so for me, that was it. Like, I was previously, raised Roman Catholic and come to see the full light of who Jesus was. And there was a kid, same situation, a little older, senior year of high school, and seeing the Catholic Church, seeing drinking, seeing the world, and saw that there was something different and asked me about it. That really just was God screaming to me, here you are. This is why you're here.
I knew I was doing student missionary work once I realized that the day that I was leaving, when my kids were crying and they were sad to see me go. And I was like, whoa, these kids loved me and I loved them, and I don't live here anymore.
Partly when I realized it was on the last day of school, when we were signing yearbooks. And the reactions I got in my yearbook were varied, but one of them really struck me. It said, "Mr. Neal, thank you for teaching Bible." And that was from a student who was a Buddhist, that I didn't really even think that she had that much of an interest. But that's what she took, and that's when it struck me, you know what, I'm here to make a difference.
A student missionary for me is more than just a student that's a missionary. It's someone that takes the time out of their own academic career, their own life, and decides to do something more than just for themselves, but for the people that are out there in need, that are thirsty for the Word of God and for His love.
A student missionary is someone who is willing to take off 1 year from school, learn a lot about themselves, and be able to really trust God in order to serve others.
Well, I'd say to future SMs is, no matter what you think your skills are, what skills you think you lack, God knows you better than you know you. And He can use you in ways that you would not believe. So just let God lead, and there's always a million reasons that you can come up with to say no to going, but just say yes. That's so much easier, and letting God lead you in your decision of where to go and what to do.
All right, it's good to see what God does through the life of those who give themselves in service outside of the comfort zone. Now, we talked about the student mission program as how you were a student missionary in New Zealand and South Pacific area as well, which is the Yap and Micronesia Islands. But you also serve as a missions coordinator for Southern Adventist University. Now, we saw a video right now, and some of the students there were from Southern Adventist University.
Yes, yeah.
Now, there's some young adults that are looking right now, and they've considered serving. But there's questions. What are some of the things that you can share with them as they decide whether or not to go out there and serve, not just for Global Youth Day for a day, but to give an entire year of their life to serve those who are in need? What would you tell them?
Yeah, I think one of the challenges that people seem to have in college is that they feel like they need to rush through. Like they feel like their life is going to begin after college starts or after college ends at graduation. But I always want to encourage them that life is now, and you have the opportunity, a unique opportunity before you're married, before you have children, and you're living your life. You can take a year out and experience another culture and serve. And I just think that fear is a big thing that holds people back, but it doesn't need to. There's plenty of resources to help you, but there's also plenty of opportunity to grow in that kind of environment.
Now, what kind of opportunities do they have around the world? Because I looked at the map as we were looking at the video, and there was South America, South Pacific. I mean, you're all over. What are the main the needs that come to mind right away? Right.
Well, definitely Micronesia. They always need teachers every year, elementary school, high school. In Africa, a lot of times there's hospitals that need nurses or even pre-medical people. Same thing with South America. even dental sometimes in South America. Depends on, there's rural, there's also urban ministries where they're doing more film and more video, that kind of thing. So there's really a big range all over the world.
Now, do they have to be a part of the Seventh-day Adventist University to go out there and serve?
No, they don't. It makes it easier for them, but if they don't, they're welcome to come through Office of Volunteer Ministries, which is where you and I work.
That's right.
And we're happy to help them through the application process as well.
And that's www.hesaidgo.org. For those of you who are watching, we encourage you to visit our website and look at the different opportunities of service. Now, when you go out there and recruit, there's a process, and we'll get back to it in a few minutes. But I want you to think about some of the tips that you can give those who are considering going out to serve. But right now we have Roseburg, Oregon on the line, and we want to hear what you did throughout the day today.
Hi. So I'm Josiah.
I'm Lacey.
And today we've just been doing random service projects around town. Like this morning, some of us went and played bingo with some elderly folks in an assisted living home. And we went there and we played bingo, and then we visited with them and gave them flowers. And another group of us went out to go and sing at 3 other different assisted living homes. Then we came home to our home church for potluck to share what we've done for the morning. And while we were there, we handed out these care baskets to friends of ours who have, or church family who have lost someone recently or who've been going through a tough time.
Wonderful. Now, I understand that you guys also did something that normally we don't see youth groups doing, and that is going out there and visiting the fire station. Is that right?
Yeah, we just got here actually and handed out a basket.
Okay, now, you know, these are people who are given of themselves on a regular basis. That's what they do for a living. They put their life on the line to serve others, but oftentimes they are neglected. And so, what motivates you guys to go ahead and say, we're going to go out there, we're going to go and talk to the servicemen who are in the fire station and letting them know that we appreciate what they do? How do you guys come up with that idea?
Well, we didn't really.
All right.
Those are parents' decisions.
Well, no, we're excited that you guys actually took the time to go ahead and do that, because they do need to hear. We're glad that there's a group of you who are there right now as we speak. Now, when you look at the entire day, there's things that you've already done and things that you are still to do throughout the day. What can you tell those youth and young adults who are watching right now who are considering doing projects but are not sure whether or not they should do the same thing that others are doing? Is it worth it? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's definitely worth it because you can make a lot of people stay happier, and yeah.
Now, playing bingo. I'm sure that was fun. And as you were playing, how did you feel to see that smile on the person who was playing with you guys?
At the house where we played bingo, most of the residents there at that house are shut-ins. There's 38 of them there, and it made a lot of them smile. And most of them, I think, feel like they're forgotten and stuff because no one ever comes to see them or visit them. It made us feel really good going there and talking with them.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us, for sharing what you guys did out there. And we look forward to hearing more of what you will continue to do on a regular basis out there in Oregon. God bless you. Thank you. And now we're going back to Andrea that will share more on our social media.
Yes, it's exciting to see what's going on social media around the world. And we do want to encourage you to share your photos and your experiences from Global Youth Day at www.globalyouthday.org. And when you go there, you can link your Facebook and Twitter accounts, and then whatever you share on your website will be automatically fed into those social media outlets. Make sure to go ahead and use the hashtag GYD15 and hashtag Global Youth Day when you're posting your photos and comments. It's also a great place to check out what's happening in other areas around the world. So, for example, I've been looking at some things going on in Mongolia. There's 3 missionary families from Brazil that are serving the Lord there. Great picture of them. In Argentina, it looks like they're having a parade, and they're handing out some literature and some books, and just a lot of things going on out there, which is great. Back to you, Eldon.
All right, it's nice when we hear what God is doing. It is always encouraging. And we want to know what Florida is doing. It looks like we got Pedro Perez on the line right now, ready to share what God did through his youth in that part of our nation. Pedro, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Good evening. How are you doing?
Doing well, doing well. It's good to see you. And I see you have a couple of people there with you. Can you introduce them to us, please?
I do, yeah. Thank you. I want to share with you real quick that all over Central Florida, young people have been doing all kinds of stuff. And early this morning in Orlando, we sent in some footage about young people that got together to go feed the homeless. And they were out there, pathfinders, youth, adults, all together from several churches. That's a part of a ministry that SALT does, a ministry in Central Florida that's doing great things. And then later in the morning, Kissimmee.
I can see.
Sorry?
Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, down in Kissimmee, there were a lot of young people that got together. They were visiting fire departments. They were visiting parks and handing out literature. They were also going around and doing the health fair in their own church. So the gym was there. The pastor canceled the whole service for the day and invited the whole church to be involved. So they were all involved in doing stuff. What a great thing they did in Kissimmee. Another highlight real quick in Sebring, which is a little bit further south. In Sebring, Florida, what they did was, in Sebring, Florida, they were there and they did a neat thing I'd never seen before. They did a community VBS. So they went to a park where there was a lake and kids were just having fun with their families. They took families from their church and went around to go to the different booths where they were doing their own picnics, family picnics, and families invited families to have their children come and do the VBS. So they came and sang. To me, the best part was a little girl at the end of the VBS. They had done the motions, and if you've done VBS, you know all the hand things that they do. And at the end of the VBS, this little girl singing, "Jesus is powerful." She's lifting her hands to say how powerful Jesus is. And it was a beautiful thing to see all that God was doing there. I've got some young people here as we end the day in Central Florida from Melbourne. And I'm going to let Carlos tell you a little bit about what his experience was today here in Melbourne, Central Florida.
Wonderful.
Hi, I am Carlos. Good to see every single one of y'all. My personal experience, while we were going out and actually feeding the homeless, we were able to meet a particular gentleman. His name's Bruce. And we were actually able to assist him not only in giving him food and necessary water, but we were also able to assist him in getting back to where he needs to go, actually back to his mother's house. He was actually stranded in Merritt Island. So we were actually able to give him the necessary money he could take for the bus. We were able to transport him to the bus stop. And the last time I personally saw Bruce, he was happy, smiling, waiting for the bus to go back to his mom.
Wonderful.
So that's just my personal experience, and I thought it was great. You know, a bunch of other stories happened with us, but that's one that particularly impacted myself.
Wonderful. And if we have a young person there with you, who's that?
Jacob.
Hey, Jacob, how's it going?
Good.
All right. Now, you were out there today serving, and if you were to think of one of the moments that you are excited about, something that really impacted you, something that made a difference, what would that be?
There's this kid, and he's homeless, and I went to go visit him, and he had no one to play with, so then I started playing with him, and then he was all happy, and he told my mom if me and him will have a play date probably next Sunday. And then my mom said yes, and he was all happy. We started playing together again, and that's it.
Wow, well, thank you for sharing, you guys. Now, Pedro, you mentioned VBS. For those who are watching and have no idea what that is, can you please explain to us what VBS is?
Sure. VBS stands for Vacation Bible School. So one of the leaders had crafts, had snacks. I mean, they did everything. They had little crowns where they were saying how powerful Jesus was. They had bags that they gave away at the end. And if you know anything about kids, when one kid gets something and goes back, the other kids are like, hey, where's my stuff? So other kids were coming at the end, and the adults were still giving out bags and giving away stuff. So it was a great way for them to take the kids that were already there at the park and introduce them to a VBS. Not only that, but then people were going around and signing up the parents and saying, hey, we'd love to have your kids come to our church VBS, and we're going to plan here in the near future. Would you share with us your contact information? So not only did the kids get the community VBS, but parents and kids are learning, hey, the church is going to do it later on, and my kid can go and be exposed to those kind of things again. It was a great thing.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now I see that you have someone else there next to you.
Hi, good evening. I'm Ivan. It was really a wonderful experience today. It's not just because we were able to help, a lot of people, but because if you were here with us, you would realize and you would look at the faces of these young people, their eyes. The brightness you see and the response that they get from all the people that we were able to touch today, it was amazing. I hope it's it's Global Youth Day every day.
That's right, that's right. Now, did you guys have food out there while you guys were serving?
Yes, we did. Actually, we visited a nursing facility. We didn't get them food because it wasn't allowed, but we did get them some basic stuff that they really need every day. And they were they appreciate that very much.
Wonderful, wonderful. And it looks like we got one more person before we move on. And who's that?
Hi, my name is Roxana, and we actually met somebody today. His name is Joel, and he's suffering terminal brain cancer. So what we did for him was we brought him some groceries, and we came and sang to him, and we prayed for him. And we also did cleanup on his yard. Obviously, he hasn't been able to do that for a few months now. So we were really happy and excited to help him out and to bring him the love of Jesus and show him that, God cares for him and that he has hope in him. So we were very excited to help him out.
Wonderful. Well, that's good to hear. And I hope that you continue to visit this person and continue to provide a service to him. Because I'm sure that it will be a blessing for that person to continue to receive your service. Well, thank you to all of you for joining and for sharing, and we'll look forward to hearing what else God will continue to do through you as you continue to serve the Lord in your community. God bless.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. And now we go back to Andrea with our social media and see what God is doing in other parts of the world.
Yes, we do want to encourage you to share your photos and experiences from Global Youth Day at www.globalyouthday.org. This is a great way to be able to share what's going on in your part of the world. So when you go to that place, you can link to your Facebook accounts and make sure to use the hashtag GYD15 and hashtag Global Youth Day when you're posting your photos and comments. It's also a great place to check out what's happening in other areas of the world, such as Panama. They're sharing God's love in their community. Jamaica, they're doing some health outreach. In California, they're feeding the hungry. A lot is going on out there. And so let's go back to you, Eldon, so we can hear about it.
All right, thank you. Now we have from Philadelphia, Maranatha SDA Church, and they're trying to get them on the line right now. Hopefully we can ask a few questions and see what God was doing through them in that part of our nation, Philadelphia. It looks like it's Abigail Cologne who's going to be joining us here in a few seconds. I'm actually excited to hear what God is doing, not only in Oregon, West Coast, of Florida, but now we're here in the East Coast once again in Philadelphia, and I'm just anxious to see what is it that they did. Do we have them on the line?
Yes.
Wonderful. And who's there with you today?
Well, I have my husband, Louis Cologne, over here. I have Eva Marie. I have Louis. I have Janet Gonzalez. I have Janelli. She is the Pathfinder area coordinator. And I have here Elizabeth.
Wonderful. Now tell me, what is it that you guys did today? What was your big service project for today?
Well, this morning we started off with a parade. At 10 o'clock this morning, we were escorted by policemen. We walked through our community. We sang Christian songs and kind of as a way of inviting the community to follow us back to the events that we had prepared for them for the evening. We also had food baskets. We prepared 40 food baskets last night. We bagged them up and we handed them all out to the community. We also had a prayer drive-through in front of our church. We blocked the streets and we had cones there. We had signs that said, honk if you want prayer, honk if you love Jesus. So we had the Pathfinder group out there. We also handed out 200 free pretzels that were donated to us from the pretzel factory. We handed out to those people that were walking in front of our church, as well as literature. We had missionaries. missionary people walking up and down the community, knocking on doors, praying with the people that wanted prayer, and handing them Christian books. We also prepared more than 150 baggies of personal care items, toothbrush, toothpaste, floss, and we handed it out to the community. We had the women's ministry that walked down the streets of our church, knocking on doors, handing these baggies and praying with them. We also had a group that went out to the Cancer Treatment Center, and they provided a message of hope, of love, prayed with them, and handed them baggies as well. We also had a health expo in front of our church where people could come and get weighed. They can get their blood sugar tested, their blood pressure, and we would write it down. We also had a PowerPoint of healthy recipes and ways to stay active. And we concluded with a prayer chain, and as you see behind us, we had a prayer wall that was up on a light post, and people that would come walking down the streets, we would ask them if they would like prayer, if they would like anything specific that they wanted us to pray for, to write their names there, and that would be sure that we would be praying for that.
Wonderful. It sounds like you had quite a few activities throughout the day. That's exciting. Now, out of all the things you did, I'm sure there's something that comes at you that pops, something that was just full of joy, or perhaps something that impacted your life. What would that be?
Well, definitely yesterday here in Philadelphia, we had quite a snowstorm. It snowed 3 to 4 inches here, and I was like, wow, tomorrow's Global Youth Day, how are we going to do the parade with this? But what really impacted me and made me so excited that I'm still thankful for, I still have this big smile on my face, is that our youth members, our youth ministry, they didn't care that the streets were slushy. We still walked in the morning at 30 degrees. In the morning, we walked in the community, and that did not stop us at all.
Wonderful. So we really appreciate what you guys did out there. It was exciting to hear, and we'll look forward to see what God will continue to do in your community, and look forward to seeing also what those people that were served have to say after they continue to see you come back time after time, being the hands and feet of Jesus Christ. And now we're going to look at a video from San Antonio and see what's going on in that part of the world.
Impact San Antonio.
Impact San Antonio.
Impact San Antonio.
It's not a program.
It's not a service.
It's not a conference.
It's not a summit.
And it's not a convention.
It is a 10-day experience.
A 10-day experience.
With your global
Seventh-day Adventist.
Seventh-day Adventist young adult
community.
Impact San Antonio. It's not a program. It's not a service. It's not a conference. It's not a summit. And it's not a convention.
It is a 10-day experience with your global Seventh-day Adventist young adult community. It's something we can't experience without you.
Now, I think we have Pastor James Black on the line right now. Can you hear me, Pastor James Black?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can surely hear you. Now, we just saw a video from Impact San Antonio 15. Now, can you tell us a little bit more about it? We just heard that it is not a convention. It's not a service. What is it?
You know, on the heels of Global Youth Day, it's probably just a continuation. I mean, I am so excited about what's happening around the world and in youth ministry and young adult ministry. But Impact San Antonio is an opportunity for young adults to come and take care of the mission of the church while the business of the church is taken care of in the Alamo Dome. So we're trying to get as many young adults to come and just hit the streets of San Antonio doing acts of kindness and various kinds of mission projects.
Wonderful. Now, today's been a very special day. We've had youth and young adults from around the world making a difference. Now, in our division, this division has not been the exception. We've had great things happening. We've heard, we've seen pictures, we've seen videos. Now, what can you tell me as the youth director of the North American Division? What is it that excites you the most out of all the things you've heard and the things that have impacted you?
Eldon, I am so proud of the youth and young adults in North America, man. I mean, it just runs chills up my body just seeing what these kids have been doing today. This is their church, and they're taking their church and going to their community, and just seeing the pictures that are being uploaded and the stories that are coming across. I mean, I just got all caught up in what Abigail just said. I mean, I can feel her enthusiasm. Right. I mean, the rain, the snow, the slush can't stop them, but it's just a wonderful thing knowing that we've come to the point in time where we can give the church to our young people. They can take it and do something very credible for Jesus.
Amen. That's exciting. Now, we do have some viewers that are not Seventh-day Adventists. They have no clue what Pathfinders are. Can you explain a little bit, what is it? We saw some people wearing a scarf on their neck as they were visiting the homeless, and perhaps this is the first time they hear of it. What is it, and how can they get involved?
Yes, Pathfinders is a wonderful organization based in the Seventh-day Adventist Church. It's kind of like a scout-like ministry. Young people have a mission to their community and to each other and to God. And so we have a club structure pretty much from grades 5 through 10. And so anyone can go to their local Seventh-day Adventist church and connect with the Pathfinder ministry and have a wonderful experience. There's honors to be earned in terms of dealing with life skills, marching and drilling, drum corps, camping out. You name it, we do it in Pathfinders, and you'll have a wonderful time being a part of it.
Now, one of the things that is exciting about the Pathfinder ministry is that they focus on service. And for them, it's not a one day a year, but it is a lifestyle. Isn't that right?
Yes. You couldn't say it more perfectly. It's not just a week-to-week meeting. It's not just every now and then. It's not a special day. It's a culture. It's a custom. It's something that we want them to be a part of all the time. And most Pathfinders will tell you this is an experience they live every day.
That's right. And it's even part of their aim, motto, and pledge. Isn't that right?
Absolutely.
Now, can anyone be a part of the Pathfinder ministry and serve on a regular basis, or do you have to be a member of the Adventist Church?
The Pathfinder ministry is for the community. You know, the Adventist Church is for the community. And we want everyone to know that it's wide open to anyone with children ages grades 5 through 12, 5 through 10. I talk about it so much I get mixed up sometimes, but grades 5 through 10, anyone can be a part of it. And we know that this ministry can make a difference in the lives of any young person who comes and becomes a part of this program.
Wonderful. Now, what is your dream for all the young adults and youth that have been part of this Global Youth Day? As the leader for North America, for the youth in the Seventh-day Adventist Church, what is your dream? What is your goal after they've gone through this experience?
I hope that we can embrace the fact that it's not about just Global Youth Day. Global Youth Day is just one day out of the year. The question now becomes, what will you do next week? What will you do tomorrow? What will you do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? This is just a kickstart. It's a jump start to inspire and mobilize young people as far as an annual experience. But we want them to do this every day. Have a plan to just be involved in your community. Love your community. Embrace your community. Let them know that your church is for them. And if we can embrace that and help our young people to understand that, the church will be in good hands.
Now, what can you tell a youth or a young adult that feels that they've dropped the ball? They've made too many mistakes, and they say, you know, I'm not good enough. Why am I going to go out there and serve if I have issues in my life? What would you tell that young person who's watching right now?
Eldon, I will tell them nobody has dropped the ball more than I have. Okay. So, hey, you know, you get back up. That's the whole idea of what Jesus says 70 times 7 as far as forgiving a person. You know, we all make mistakes, we all fall, but the main thing is you have an option. I can stay down here or I can get back up. And we want to encourage young people who may have fallen, who may have, you know, gone by the wayside. Get up. Allow Jesus to dust you off and put you back in the game for his service.
And how about the church? How do they view that young person who's coming back? Do you think they'll feel that they will be welcome? Will they be rejected? Sometimes they say, you know, I want to be a part of it, but I've dropped the ball and I don't see myself serving anymore because I'm afraid they may not welcome me. What can you tell that young person as we close?
I'm glad you asked that question. We got to lighten up, man. I mean, the fact is we just can't accept the fact that kids are leaving the church. We can't just accept the fact that this is okay. It's not our church. It's not their church. They've got to open this thing up. They've got to allow young people to come in and ask the hard questions and receive the answers and receive the love. But if we keep rejecting them and pushing them away, you know, there'll be no church for tomorrow. So I would say to anyone who has that idea, lighten up, man. Love these kids, embrace them, and make sure that they know this is their home.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Pastor, for joining us, for sharing, and we look forward to hearing your stories as you continue to collect all the pictures and videos of what God did today throughout the North American Division. God bless you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Adam. Blessings to you.
Thank you. Now we go back to Andrea with our social media.
Yes, we are really enjoying seeing what's going on out there. There's a lot of interesting stuff that's going on. We do want to encourage you to share your photos and experience from Global Youth Day at www.globalyouthday.org. When you go there, you can link your Facebook and Twitter accounts, and then whatever you share on the website will automatically feed into those social media outlets. Also, make sure to use the hashtag GYD15 and hashtag Global Youth Day when posting your photos and comments. It's a great place to check out what's happening around the world. I've been looking at a few things that have been going on in Sweden. There's a really great photo. There's a couple of guys who are, they just both have their arms around an elderly lady. Looks like they're just cheering up the elderly with music, with hugs. In Australia, there's a great photo of the Sydney youth, and it says they're ready to hit the city streets with the love of Jesus. There's a whole table of goods in front of them, and I couldn't tell exactly what's in there, but it looks like a lot of activity going on down there. And then finally, in Fargo, North Dakota, there's a great church that's getting ready to do some awesome stuff there. Now, we'll go ahead and go back to Eldon now.
Now we have Shane Clark on the line and ready to share what took place today in their part of the world. So tell us, what's going on?
Well, I have Yasmin Henry with me also, and we're from Mount Zion. And
Mount Zion, okay, thank you for clarifying. Wonderful. So how was your day today?
It was very good. It's just always a great experience going out and being able to share the gospel of Christ and being able to pray with other people.
Yeah, we're in Kissimmee near Orlando, so we're near Disney, and we have a lot of tourists around here. And we went to just a community park, and we had ices, so we had something that it was a 95-degree day, so no one was really going to deny ices on this hot weather day. So it gave us a really great opening where we almost got no denials from anybody. Like, everybody was very receptive, and that's something that we prayed about. So God definitely stepped up in that way and answered our prayers for giving us receptive people.
Wonderful. Now, how many people joined your group as you were serving out there?
Well, I mean, we started out with maybe 35, 40, but it's funny how God works that when we got to the park, there was 3 other Adventist churches out there. So the Adventist church was out in force. So by that time, we got around 60 people. So people definitely were beginning to wonder, what's the Adventist church about? So it definitely gave us a ministering opportunity. And it also helped that we had our Pathfinder drum corps. So it brought a crowd together wanting to know, whoa, what is Pathfinders? How can I get involved?
Got it. Now, if you guys were passing that out, it's because it was warm out there. How hot was it?
95.
And humid, I'm assuming. Well, it's good that you guys have been blessed with wonderful weather out there. Right here, we're still enjoying the cold weather, but looking forward to spring. But I'm glad that didn't stop you from serving and going out there and making a difference. Now, when you met people out there, was there anyone that caught your attention as they reacted towards your kind act of with them?
I met one lady, and she really wanted us to pray for her kids and family. She was saying that she had no money, and she was just very, very humble and just saying that she just wants God to be in her life more. And I just honestly thought that was a blessing because most people won't express that to strangers. So I just thought, like, what a humbling experience for me to be able to pray for somebody else.
Wonderful. Now, as you see your youth group into the future, do you see them continuing to do these kind of projects?
Absolutely. I mean, this is the second time that we've done this within maybe 4 or 5 months. And one thing that after we came back from our initiative, we came back and did testimonies. And one thing that we said on the board is that we should have more Sabbaths like this. Like, this is truly what a Sabbath should feel like. We should be rested ourselves, but also offer people hope. And I don't know if we always do a good job of that within the pews. So I think this is something that they're definitely interested in. They definitely want to go back. They loved the impact that we were able to make on people. So it's something that they're all interested in.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for sharing. And again, as I've been saying with all the groups, we look forward to hearing what God will continue to do with your youth group as you share in your local community. God bless you and take care.
You too. Thank you.
Well, Andrew, it's been a full day.
Yeah.
And we've only covered 2 hours of the 24-hour period of youth and young adult serving. And as we wrap things up here in the studio, is there anything in your heart that you'd like to share with those who are watching that have been blessed throughout the day by serving, and now they want to take it to the next level? In the next 30 seconds, what would you have to say?
Man, keep praying about that, because I think if God puts it on your heart to serve in this day, I think you definitely can take that. If God continues to put that on your heart, you can take that on to, further, long-term service even.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And that goes for short-term and for long-term service as well.
Right, right.
All right, for those of you who are still considering, I encourage you to visit our website at www.hesaidgo.org and see how you can get involved in other service and mission projects, not only within the North American division, but across the world. We look forward for you to continue to share your thoughts on the day. And please visit globalyouthday.org and continue to share pictures and videos, because we do want to know what God did in your area as you decided to go out and serve. Andrew, I really appreciate your time. Really appreciate you sharing your story. In the future, we'll look forward to hearing what else took place throughout your journey as a student missionary, as a full-time missionary, as a task force worker. But thank you so much. And thank you guys for joining us. May God bless you as you continue to consider serving others that are in need.
What an inspiring showcase of what God is doing in the North American division. I was excited, thrilled to go from state to state to state to state and see how God is really impacting the lives of people involved and the people who they touch through Global Youth Day. Weren't you impressed? I was really impressed.
Indeed, because every time you know what they were doing this time, or what they will share, or what will be the story and the project that they were doing in that place.
There were some similarities. We saw lots of things that were happening, very rich in each of the communities that were involved with GYD. So, like for instance, a lot of people went out to thank firemen and policemen and doctors and nurses. People went on rubbish collections, and there were some generic things that people were really...
As blood donation also.
Yes, blood donations as well. That was really awesome. I guess we want to spend some time to reflect on just a few of them, and what impact that has on us as we reflect from the world perspective of these things. I remember there was one lady, Christina, just like you, Christina. She was involved in the San Antonio region and helped to galvanize a team to march. Do you remember? Do you remember that?
Yes, it was that march for freedom.
Yes.
On the rainy day.
That's right. Yes.
Yes, it was difficult.
Had a really tough time Okay, yeah, it was really just from the organization to the campaign and etc. and bringing it all together. She said one thing, okay? She said it was like heaven. The youth were in unity. I thought that was beautiful. I thought it was beautiful.
Yes, because when we are doing something together, we forget about the difference between us, and also we remember that together we can do amazing things. And heaven is an amazing place.
And I think that when young people are fully engaged with active and practical ministry, barriers fall down.
Indeed, as we saw in every one of the cities and places.
Definitely. And they become more courageous. They become more courageous. The same kind of courage that was found in Quebec as we went across. And remember the blood donations?
Yes, and the people, and I remember also our Cherise who is afraid about giving blood and needles.
Yes, our last host was so scared about giving needles. But do you remember what the host said, what they were saying in Quebec about the lady who was scared about needles? They asked her a question. They said, would you give it again? And do you remember what she said? She said that
it's worth it. She will do the next time
the
also.
Same girl that was so scared to give blood said she was willing to go. And so active ministry, no matter how scary it is, God grants the courage in order to do it. Well, I believe that we're going to rush across, unfortunately. Where are we going next?
This time we'll go in the land of chocolate, and we'll go in Mexico.
Yeah, some people have a sweet tooth will probably love this land, okay? And so we want to bring you to Eldon and Andrea in the middle of Mexico. Enjoy, be blessed, and be inspired.